Hello everyone, welcome to this session. My name is Wycliffe, and in this video I want to share with you how you can bind columns of different data frames. So to do that, we will use a dplyr function. So you can install it using install.packages and then dplyr if you don't have it already. But for me, I have it, so I will just use library function to load it. And then I say dplyr. Okay, after loading it, I will create a data frame, a couple of data frames using table function from dplyr. And then I can have, for example, farms column, which is a paste of, say, f underscore from number 1 to number 4. So that just combines several f underscore with numbers 1 to 4. And then the counties include Kericho, Bomet, Nandi, Meru. So we have Kericho, then we have Bomet, then we have Nandi, and then we have Meru. Okay, that's our first data frame. If we print df here, we see, dfa. If we print dfa, we see the data frame or the table, okay? Then we can make another df, which is dfc. So we just copy most of this, and then I put it here for dfc, dfb, and then for dfc, I will also paste it and say dfc. Okay, for dfb, this table, and then we have, this one should have been farm. This one can be maybe from this data set we have some t in kilograms, which will be numbers like 400, say 550, say 300, say 450. And then another thing we have about them is not county, but grade. And the grades are like BP. And then we have, say, PF. And then we have, say, PD. And then we have, say, BP. Okay, for C, we have just one column, and it is called maybe altitude in meters. And this altitude is given as numeric. So we have C, and then we have 2000 at some point, then we have 1950 altitude, then we have 2100 altitude. Okay, so if we run dfb and check it, we see that it has got 2 columns. This one had 2 columns, and this one had 4 rows, this one 4 rows, and then this one has 3 rows and 1 column. So we can decide to bind columns of A and B. They have same number of rows. So we just use bind calls, and then dfa, we bind with dfb. So the T in kilogram and the grade, which were in B, have been appended to the same data frame as farm and county. So we corrected the spelling for farm. And then we can now run this and see farm. Yeah, farm, county, T. So we have brought this data frame and appended it to the other. All right, so if we attempt to bind rows where one is missing some values, then it will throw an error. For example, if we say bind calls, not bind rows, bind calls of dfa, and df say C, because C has got only 3 rows, it cannot. It throws an error. So it is only bind rows that we can bind even if one doesn't have the same number of columns. But if it is bind calls, then the records must have the same number of rows. You can put NS yourself and then you bind them together. I hope you find this useful. If you do, kindly grab the link in the description section of this video and produce it yourself for your own work. Let me know how it goes. Thank you and happy coding. Bye-bye.